Hey, all right, welcome everyone. We're gonna be starting. Oh, that is a very bright light. So this is kind of the view that Peter tells you not to have when you look at a rocket engine. It's like just down the nozzle into the exhaust. So, thank you. Thank you for the laughs. I paid him earlier. How are we feeling? Good. All right. Fiery. I feel a little bit less energy from the back, but that's okay. It's okay to be tired. I think it's been a busy week. It's fair to assume, and I want to say I'm glad to see this turnout. I think we're full, and that's good because that means everybody's here, and we can give OPP and the CAA a break this evening. They've been very busy as well, so I want to highlight a few things before we start. It's been a busy week, but it's not only been busy; it's been pretty stressful. I think all of us here have this lingering, feeling in our chest of tiredness and exhaustion, but that's good because stress is a good thing. It's a reaction of the organism telling us we're doing something important, and the stress can come from Dave inspecting your rocket and finding things that you want to keep low key. It's also been emotional. It's been an emotional week. We've had some thrilling launches from the launch sites, causing parents to scream louder than Chris's speakerphone. Um, and we've had some hard scrubs too. And the caffeine crash that comes after it makes us fall into Peter's hammock. So we've had some tough moments. It's also been an expensive week, from leaving some quite expensive parts of our cars into the Metogamy forest on the shortcut to the 101. Zach will never learn, never. And two arbalists driving a round trip to Kitchener in Waterloo in a day to get their motors. Once again, Alberta Oil is thankful. So we've been through a lot together, and that's what a family does. And we've also faced many challenges together, as a bunch of engineers and scientists does. And we've welcomed them because that's what we do. We welcome challenge because it gives us an occasion to find solutions, and that's what we like doing. So all that to say, some of us are tired, and I think that's good because it means that we've achieved something. And the proof is in the pudding, maybe more like the gelato for today. And we're all here today now to celebrate you all and your big, beautiful Canadian rockets. On that note, allow me to officially welcome you to Launch Canada 2025, the closing ceremony. As long as certain moments fell every day, the week went pretty fast. So I gotta agree, I found myself a few times sitting out of breath and being like, damn, that was intense. But now I can't realize that we're finally here. It's like the myth of Sisyphus, pushing the rock up the hill and it falls back down, or the Zenon, I think, where like the arrow travels half the way, then half the way, and then half the way, and you never get there. But we're there now. We're at the closing ceremony in Timmins. And I want to say, I want to give a little recap just because I think when we're looking back, it looks like a blur. Sometimes it's nice to smell the roses and look at the little moments in that week that were marked and were something that we want to remember. So we started with 2 days of an amazing conference at the Sportsplex, and that feels like a decade ago for me. I was there all day. And we've had speakers from across the world. We've had people tell us about solar energy and space beaming down to the earth. We've had people tell us that solids are better than liquids. Not certain about that. And we've heard about how to start a career in a Canadian aerospace company. We've also had students presentations on regen liquid engines, on 3D printed engines, and on avionics for TVC. Honestly, those were amazing. I got to watch all of them, ask questions, and every year I'm more and more impressed by what you guys are capable of doing, so thank you. We then headed to the launch site after the conference, and we achieved a record. We have launched the most rockets ever at a Launch Canada competition. Ever. I would like to venture myself even to say that we have launched, that is on the dot, exactly 100 launches. I don't know if you heard the last launch. We were at 99 on the dot, and then we've had some live stream people wanting to round the number because it just looks nice in the stream. And we had a spool of 3D printed filament with a rocket motor. And that's how we finished Launch Canada. So Congratulations on 100 rockets. Woo. So out of those 100, we had 50 outreach rockets. We had 44 solids, where 16 were competition, the rest were certification. We had 2 stages. We had 2 hybrids, 1 liquid, and 2 static fires. That's a whole lot of rocketry. We have also launched 2 times more rockets in a single day. So 2 times more rockets in a single day than we've launched over the entire 2023 competition. Like, that's crazy. So shout out to the LCOs out there and the RSOs out there. Congratulations to all of you, because this is our win, right? It's our win. So we can be proud of that. And now we're at the closing ceremony. We've made it all the way here through thick and thin, dust and sweat. And we have some invited speakers to give a few words. And then we have the buffet that will be ready at 7:30 for those that are hungry. I was going to say hangry, but I'm going to be kind. Then we have the awards. And what's nice is that I learned earlier today, I didn't know, but we actually have the place until 1 a.m. So and the bar will be open until 1 a.m. It's a cash bar. So if you want to stay after the ceremony that ends at 10 p.m., you're welcome to stay. I know some of you have to drive and all that, but we are open to having a little Launch Canada family reunion. And to start the ceremony, because we're talking about the end of the ceremony, but we're not there yet, I would like to first recognize that this week we achieved Canadian history. That's a fact, so we can all appreciate that. And we did it on the traditional lands of Matagami First Nation within Treaty 9 territory. And so I want to say yes. Not only within their territory, but we were on their territory. Their territory was in us in form of blueberries. And we had the fire crew that was protecting us as well. So that was amazing. So thank you to the community and people of Matagami First Nation for welcoming our smiles, sweat, and tears on their land as we build the future of this country in aerospace together. Miigwech. And that is a great segue to allow me to welcome to the stage Chief Jennifer Constant of Matagami First Nation.
It's normal. Thank you. I actually brought my glasses this time. So, Ani, makoshkishkon indijnakas nendogi makwe matagmi aki nindojba. Last time I forgot to say bonjour en français. Je comprends comment parler en français aussi. Est-ce que? So good evening, everyone. I'm a little bit shorter than Cyril. As we bring this extraordinary Launch Canada journey to close, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we've witnessed. Not just rockets launching, but dreams, innovation, and the power of collective vision taking flight. It has been an absolute honor to stand with you all, students, engineers, organizers, mentors, and partners, as we celebrate not just technical milestones, but a powerful sense of community and purpose. To all the teams who poured countless hours into the designs, calculations, setbacks, and breakthroughs, you've shown what true leadership, dedication, and innovation look like. Whether your rocket soared sky high or your lesson came from the ground, you know that you've taken part in something far greater than a single launch. You've joined a legacy of pushing boundaries and reimagining what's possible here in Canada and in Northern Ontario. I acknowledge the wonderful contributions of Matagami Aki and the Matagami Volunteer Fire Department, who enjoyed this week helping out at the competition as well. It was truly a joy. I was watching their Snapchats and Facebook stories. They were in awe of all of the things going on around them. And that was true inspiration for them. So let's carry forward that spirit as engineers, as knowledge keepers, as dreamers, with humility, curiosity, and care for the communities and lands that support our work. Let Launch Canada not just be about altitude, but about impact. Congratulations to all the award winners tonight. Your work is exemplary, and to every participant, you've ignited something that doesn't end here. Miigwech, and thank you. Safe travels, and until we launch again, keep looking up.
I love it. Keep looking up and point your finger at the rocket. I love it. And may your rocket have an impact in the figurative sense. You'll notice that metogamy woods were a big part of Launch Canada. I'm seeing some of you straight back from the launch site. I'm still seeing some sand on some pants and shoes. But so did the Canadian Tire, the Home Depot, the Montana's, the Wacky Wings, the Boston Pizza, the Northern College Dorms, and the Dante Club. And the Fishbowl, excellent. Casey's also is in there. And all of these are in Timmins and Porcupine. And so I must say, a lot of people this week have asked me why we're here in Timmins, whether it was the CTV news reporter or the children that we brought to the launch site to see some rockets from Timmins. And I always felt like the answer was clear to me and came naturally. And it's not because the mining industry means that we can purchase high quality gases for our rockets, nor because Joe Can has a bunch of containers that we can borrow, but because Timmins is really the only place that has welcomed us with open arms. So not only are we happy to be here, but we're comfortable here, so thank you. And once again, the proof is in the gelato. We've got 40 rockets built by local students from the local high schools. We have people from Science Timmins, Timmins High, Thériault, and others. So 40 of those 100 rockets were built by local students. And I will also take the occasion to thank Sean Banks of Discovery Porcupine, because without Discovery Porcupine, we wouldn't be here today to talk about this moment. So thank you, because they're sponsoring our dinner today. Everybody, a nice round of applause. And to highlight this beautiful collaboration and support from the city, Launch Canada is lucky to have one more Timmins delegation, and that is none other than the Timmins mayor that is here with us tonight. So everyone, please welcome to the stage Mayor Michel Boileau.
Merci Cyril, c'est très gentil mot. Bonsoir, bienvenue à toutes et tous. C'est vraiment un honneur d'être ici, un plaisir d'être ici avec vous encore pour cette belle occasion. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be here with you all for this wonderful event. Unfortunately, as timing would have it yet again, I wasn't able to attend any of the rocket launches, be here all week as I was away for a municipal conference in Ottawa all week. But that's okay, because I feel like the lead up to the event makes it so that I'm a part of it. I feel the vibes, I feel the positive energy as we get ready for the event. And I'm always so glad to be able to be here for this momentous occasion and to see who wins. Chief Jen, Councillor Black, thank you for joining us here tonight. Thank you so much to Launch Canada for having us. Cyril spoke of the collaboration between the city and Launch Canada. I have some notes that I'm going to get to because we have so much fun to prepare the puns for tonight, so I will get to those. But we, our staff, some of the city staff get to work collaboratively with, I've been talking to First Nation, we're talking about Aki staff and the Launch Canada team leading up to the event every year. And essentially the planning almost starts a few weeks after today. And when I come back from this event, and I told the staff about it last year and about the number of people in this room and the excitement, and you guys are just still like riding on that adrenaline high, and just how much fun it is. I feel like words can't really describe what it is. So if you guys don't mind, I'd like to take a picture to show how full the Dante Club is and to really give everyone back at the office a sense of what's going on here, okay? So let's get started that way. And we're gonna do 6 times, and I'm gonna come down here. Hold on, oh, there we go, we got the lights. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I feel like I did that wrong, I should have been counting down. Okay. Merci, c'était super. All right, as we bring this awesome event, Launch Canada 2025, to a close, and I did get this year's patch. Thank you for that as well. I would like to thank the bright young minds who make this event possible. To the students who participated in this year's Launch Canada rocketry competition, your passion and innovation inspires us all. And congratulations to you all for getting to this point, because I know that there's a lot of hard work that's gone into it over the past year and years. And sometimes just the travel here is a hard work in and of itself. So congratulations for being here, and congratulations on your achievements this week. You remind us that the future of aerospace and exploration will be built by those who dare to dream big and reach higher. So keep dreaming big. To the Launch Canada organizers and volunteers, thank you for choosing Timmins as a partner on this important mission. Your vision and commitment help cultivate the next generation of aerospace leaders and engineers. And thank you so much for letting us take part in it. And thank you for coming to nurture the young minds that are here leading up to the event as well. It's much appreciated. We're also proud, yes, thank you. We're also proud to recognize Matagi First Nation as our launch partner. Your leadership and collaboration have been essential to this successful event, so please do extend our gratitude to everyone back in community. We know Timmins' role in Canada's aerospace future is only growing stronger, and we're going to keep doing everything we can to make sure it keeps growing bigger and bigger, right, Councillor Black? Alongside Launch Canada's annual competition and conference, the Canadian Space Agency's Timmins Stratospheric Balloon Base is a vital hub for scientific discovery and information. Did anyone get a chance to see the balloons this week? There's more yet to come over the next couple of years. Keep coming back. We'll make sure there's some fun space stuff for you guys to see while you're here. There we go. And from advancing research and at the edge of space, because that's really how far they're going, to supporting the next generation of discovery, Timmins is ready to go further. So we often speak of Canada as the true north, strong and free. In Timmins, we live those words, not only on the ground, but in the space above us and beyond. Merci d'avoir passé la semaine ici, dans la ville de Timmins, et je vous souhaite un bon voyage de retour chez vous. Safe travels, and we'll see you next year. Merci.
Beautiful speech. And regarding the space agency, there was a funny moment where we had all the LCOs on top of the container where we're supposed to have the airspace, and we look up, there's this thing in the distance that's kind of shining white, and we're wondering, what is it? Is it another jetliner? Are we stuck again with not having reserved our airspace? Turns out it was the Canadian Space Agency with their balloon at 70,000 feet. So yeah, they were very visible, so they got to decorate the sky. And note that also this year I did not make a mistake in her biography because I just didn't say it. Her reputation precedes her anyways. And now if Shane, Vicky, Will, and Peter have not drilled this hard enough in your head, launching rockets is a risky business. Thankfully, our nurse here at the medical tent was not too busy, but still, it's dangerous. But as engineers and scientists, we're not scared of risk. Like I mentioned earlier, we calculate it, we evaluate it, and we address it. Whether it is in a ballistic reentry that goes past Mach 1 or a fire disposal garbage pit, we figure out how we approach things, and we do it well with the risk in mind. And so if you imagine what our poor range safety officers went through this week, take all of that and multiply it times 10, and that is a role of our next year. And that's what it requires. Indeed, with us tonight, we actually have, and actually the entire week, we've had Canada's Orbital Launch Pad Director of Safety keeping an eye on us, and that is Dr. Yaroslav Yarko Pustovi, coming straight from Maritime Launch Services in Nova Scotia. For those that don't know Dr. Pustovi, he is a NASA-trained National Space Agency of Ukraine astronaut. Yaroslav served as a backup payload specialist for the STS-87 Space Shuttle Columbia mission. Yaroslav brings an extensive private and public sector experience to MLS with involvement in government space programs as well in the commercial spaceflight industry. So everybody, please welcome on stage a crucial part of our community, Dr. Pustovi.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, so now I'm stuck with those. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Yarko Pustovi, and I'm Director of Safety and Chief Technology Officer for Maritime Launch Services, which is the first Canadian commercial orbital spaceport. I would like to start with point number one. Congratulations on successful completion of the 4th Canadian Rocket Innovation Challenge. For those who don't know, this is the original name of Launch Canada. Go back to 2017, and we had a group of enthusiasts and space industry professionals meeting with Adam in his living room and having some people on Zoom call, and this is where it all started. The idea that cannot be squashed, that cannot be put away. And going to October 10, 2018, this is when we discussed what is going to be the name of this Canadian Rocket Innovation Challenge, because that was a provisional name. Among those were, if my memory is correct, were Launch Canada, Go for Launch Canada, Launch the North, and Launch North. So eventually Launch Canada won, and this is what we know this competition is today. In 2022, that was put into reality with our first event in Cochrane, where I had the privilege of serving one of the judges. And in 2022, we saw less than 10 launches, I believe. But that was a first start that gave its way to the next year and the next. In 2023, another milestone was hit when Launch Canada expanded its operation to Spaceport Nova Scotia, and we had Launch Canada led launch of Arbalest rocketry Goose 3. My kudos to Arbalest. Also becoming inaugural launch from Spaceport Nova Scotia. So thank you very much for helping us start our progress as well. In 2023 and 2024, we saw major expansion of operations in Timmins this time, and with more basic and especially advanced multi-stage hybrid and liquid propellant vehicles, including testing those vehicles and engines. Among them was Space Concordia Star Sailor static test. That in 2025, what is it today? 22nd, so actually a week ago. On August 15, 2025, I had the privilege of serving as a range safety officer for Concordia's Star Sailor launch at Cree Nation Mistissini location in northern Quebec, and it was a stunning success. So another milestone in Canadian rocketry is the largest student-built liquid propellant rocket being flown from Canada. And finally, after a long drive from Mistissini to Timmins, I was privileged to be part of launch operations with Launch Canada, where we saw 100 launches. Imagine yourself. From meeting in Adam's quarters in 2017 to less than 10 launches in 2022, 100 launches. All kinds, basic, multi-stage, liquid, hybrid, static tests, but what is more importantly, a large number of outreach vehicles. This is where it is coming from. I would like to, of course, congratulate all the teams that won those beautiful awards. But also, I would like to strengthen the fact that it is not about winning an award. It is about building a truly spacefaring nation in Canada, building a space industry, a launch industry in Canada, collectively, and for each one of you personally, building level of professionalism. because this is what it is about. The goal is not winning the prize. It's nice to win the prize, but when I saw personally how the team makes hard decision to delay launch until they're ready, when the team is reducing the parameters of their flight to make it safe, when the team is brave enough to scrub or cancel completely their flight because of they're not ready and they're not safe, and they're making decision on their own without any hint from launch ops or range safety. This is where we want to be. We want to be professional. We want to be truly spacefaring nation, building robust industry, because what is coming is going to be next step for Canada. Building our commercial space capabilities, and what's important, who is going to do it? Back in 22, if anyone remember my speech in Cochrane in the Tim Hortons Arena, I said, we're going to be building Canadian space, but it is you who is going to be doing it, because nobody else. It's just you in this auditorium. This is going to be the future of Canadian launch and the general space industry. You know, a lot of you who are brave enough to embrace career, especially in space launch, because it is going to be challenging, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be also rewarding. For every one of you who saw your launch of your vehicle in this event, just remember this emotional feeling that you had. Actually was observing the launch of one of the vehicle from the pad in advance, and when they launched, they screamed so loud I couldn't hear the rocket. Remember this feeling. Remember this feeling and try to keep up with it, because it will bring you through all the challenges, all the hardship, all the sacrifices you need to make on the path to your success as space launch professionals. John Kennedy, in his famous 1961 speech at Rice University, when they just had a couple of suborbital launches, challenged the whole nation to land on the moon. And he said that we are going to the moon. We are going to do this in this decade and do the other things, not because they're easy, but because they're hard. So I challenge you to do the hard things, continue growing as professionals, because this is our victory. 2025 marks changing a lot of things, changing attitude to rocketry, to space industry in general in Canada. I don't know if Mr. Trump going to succeed to making great America again. Good luck to him with that, but he definitely made Canada great again. By all accounts, I see great opportunities for all of you, for all of us in space industry, both for you as talent, but for us as industry to hire you. And this will bring more challenges, more hardships, more delays, more technical issues to come up, more regulatory issues to come up. But as Churchill used to say, the problems of victory are more agreeable than those of defeat, but they're no less difficult. Congratulations on successful completion of Launch Canada Challenge 2025, and we will see you next year. Thank you.
Very inspiring speech. Thank you. And you know, one thing you're saying, you're talking about the future and the future of Canadian aerospace. And we had at the Canadian Space Launch Conference, which was the first launch conference in Canada in Ottawa, the Air and Space Museum, organized by our sponsor, Nordspace. Thank you. We had a panel on the future of Canadian aerospace. And the theme was like, we're sitting at a table 100 years from now, and we're talking about what was the recipe that led us to being a spacefaring civilization, to having our own space station and having our own access to space. And we were saying, okay, well, if we want to be sitting at that table in 100 years, what do we have to do now? And what will we be thinking about then that we did now? And the idea is that we'll have started the recipe. So we'll have cut the vegetables, let them marinate, let them to boil. And I'm very excited to say that the soup is in front of me today. And we're slowly starting to marinate them, and eventually we'll grow into the industry that we want in 100 years. So congratulations to the soup. They don't like soup. Eat your greens. There's a lot today at the buffet, so you better eat your vegetables. And so, you know, rockets are dangerous, like we mentioned with the launches this week. But some things are even more dangerous. You know, we have standing between the mama bear and the baby bears, and there's also standing between undergrads and their food. So I'm gonna accelerate and go a little bit faster because I know you've had a long week. And allow me one more presentation, and you'll see it's definitely worth it. And by now you probably know who this person is. I can hammer his bio in your head, but you'll recognize him right away. He could not be here with us tonight, but he's actually traveling to the Pentagon to actually create this industry that we're hoping to have in 100 years. So everybody, please welcome virtually and with a few pre-recorded words, the Brigadier General Horner, Commander of the 3 Canadian Space Division.
Hey everyone, just wanted to send a quick video as I'm in the midst of traveling to let you know that you had what can only be described as a record-breaking week. I got some notes throughout, I got some live stream throughout. Again, super disappointed I wasn't able to be there with you. But hey, a couple things that I specifically took note of this week. First time we've had a rocket go above 66,000 feet. And so I think Polytechnic gets that record for an altitude record. UBC Okanagan, first time to launch a clustered hybrid rocket in Canada. That is pretty spectacular. Sherbrooke, I believe, was the first static test of a fully regenerative cooled rocket motor from a student institution in Canada. So another first. And then I think if I have my notes correctly, or if I saw that live stream correctly, it was the University of Waterloo that delivered the largest ever liquid rocket motor at a Launch Canada event, which only really beat last year's record that you set yourselves. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about those firsts for Canada. I want you to think about the fact that on Thursday, you launched over 50 rockets, and that by yesterday, you'd launched 100 rockets. That's more than has ever been done.
This is quite fitting. You can see we're all smiling right now because this is what we like. We like problems because we get to solve them. So thank you. This is us. We just filled our tank. We're trying to disconnect. I can say this because it happened to me in 2022. Okay, so I'm not throwing shame. We're figuring it out. If we don't laugh about it, we cry about it. Okay, come on, let's go. Yeah.
Hey everyone, I wanted to send a quick video.
And in the meantime, we're filling the rocket with some nice chicken. Occasion to just do some housekeeping for the meal. So if you're hungry, please listen up. We will be calling the tables 4x4. That's the capacity. That's a max here. So we're going to send 4 tables at a time. We're going to start these 4 tables in the front, and then I asked ChatGPT to give them in order. So the AI overlords have decided when you get to eat, not me. If you have food specificities like vegetarian, it is the last option in those little like heaters. So just please still do the line like everyone, so you don't cut in line. But there is an option for you. For those that don't have those food specificities, just leave it for other people. It's the vegetarian gnocchi, so that's pretty nice. We have celiac options at the kitchen door. So if you want to line up there, if you are celiac, feel free to do so. And oh, last thing, I noticed cash. And we have Francis taking care of you with his very large smile. There is also a dessert bar. Feel free to go after you've eaten your meal or during as well. Can I get a round of applause for the live stream team? Like, look at them. Like all week, it's been amazing. I don't know if you had the chance, like me, like you've seen rockets all day and then you go into your bed and you just watch a live stream. It's like not enough of it. The production quality has been crazy. And once again, all volunteers, so thank you.
Test, test, test. Put your ear up to this. Test, 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 test.
Hey everyone, just wanted to send a quick video as I'm in the midst of traveling to let you know that you have Hey everyone, just wanted to send a quick video as I'm in the midst of traveling to let you know that you had what can only be described as a record-breaking week. I got some notes throughout, I got some live stream throughout. Again, super disappointed I wasn't able to be there with you, but hey, things that I specifically took note of this week. First time we've had a rocket go above 66,000 feet, and so I think Polytechnic gets that record for an altitude record. UBC Okanagan, first
Okay, so we did find a solution. We MacGyvered something together as we often do. And while they were struggling, I got myself a drink. So cheers. And the solution is I'll just do this.
Hey everyone, just wanted to send a quick video as I'm in the midst of traveling to let you know that you had what can only be described as a record-breaking week. I got some notes throughout, I got some live stream throughout. Again, super disappointed I wasn't able to be there with you. But hey, a couple things that I specifically took note of this week. First time
You know what? I'll play on my
we've
phone.
had a rocket go above 66,000 feet. Just want to send a quick video as I'm in the midst of traveling to let you know that you had I got some notes throughout, I got some live stream throughout. Again, super disappointed I wasn't able to be there with you. But hey, a couple things that I specifically took note of this week. First time we've had a rocket go above 66,000 feet, so I think Polytechnic gets that record for our altitude record. UBC Okanagan, first time to launch a cluster hybrid rocket in Canada. That is pretty spectacular. Sherbrooke was the first static test of a fully regenerative cooled rocket motor from a student institution in Canada. So another. And then I think, if I have my notes correctly, or if I saw that live stream correctly, it was the University of Waterloo that delivered the largest ever liquid rocket motor at a Launch Canada event, which only really beat last year's record that you set yourselves. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about those firsts for Canada. I want you to think about the fact that on Thursday, you launched over 50 rockets, and then by yesterday, you launched 100 rockets. That's more than has ever been done at a Launch Canada event. You should all be exceptionally proud of that moment and exceptionally proud of what you've done as your teams, as a country together. I think you've done a really great job delivering this idea that Canada can do this together because you have coast-to-coast participation. I've got folks all the way from the East Coast and all the way to the West Coast. And you have a high school, at least one high school organization, Turner Fens, and I believe it was a high school, to deliver the first high school team entry to Launch Canada. This is incredible. This is an incredible time for this country. And you did a phenomenal job from a live stream and volunteer perspective to showcase how good you are at what you're doing and how bright the future is for this country. And so even though I'm stuck in a hotel in another part of the world, I really wanted to pass on to you, hey, I'm exceptionally proud of each of you and what you've accomplished. Things that in my lifetime I didn't believe we would ever do in this country, and you are propelling us forward. And so a special thanks to all the volunteers, to all of the teams, to all of the senior mentors and leadership groups that have allowed this to come together, to the Matagami First Nation who hosted the event and was able to integrate their community with our community and share the great land that we have here in Canada to be able to push us forward. It is incredible to watch. It's incredible to see from what you will become and what you will do for this country, the space ecosystem and the launch ecosystem. Congratulations to all of you. All the best and stay for cheers.
And if you don't know what he looks like, show and tell. All right, so this concludes the before eating part of this ceremony. Yeah! Because we're talking about rockets, we're talking about fuel, and rockets don't go very far without fuel, neither do we. So it is my pleasure to announce that it is dinner time. And so I will announce table 1, 2, 12, and what is yours? 11 to go eat, and please serve you a plate, and we'll be back in the, I was going to say the afternoon, but the after lunch, after dinner part for the rest of the ceremony. Thank you, everyone.
You? Okay, yes.
So
The button is already up.
which are the sponsors of the dinner?
On behalf of Discovery Porcupine, I'd like to welcome you to Timmins and hope you really enjoyed the meal. It's a pleasure for us to be able to help support the event like this. Amazing to see the energy of everyone and just such an amazing event. And just remember this, you're going to get so much out of the teamwork, effort, and hard work you all put into it. So enjoy and keep reaching for the stars.
Thank you. I would like to also invite Katie, representing MDA, our largest sponsor.
Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Hutton. I'm a systems engineer at MDA Space, working on the Canadarm3 program. And I've had the pleasure of being one of the MDA volunteers at Launch Canada this week. I'd like to start by thanking you all, Launch Canada organizers and participants, for putting on such a wonderful event. It's been my first time attending an engineering competition. I've been blown away by the ingenuity and expertise that has been on display this past week. MDA Space is proud to sponsor an event that supports and encourages developments in Canadian aerospace. Everyone in this room, through successes and failures, has helped push those developments further, and that is a remarkable thing to witness. In my own Launch Canada experience, I've spent the last few days volunteering with the Launch Canada outreach team. You may have seen the groups of children at base camp launching their own amateur rockets and foraging through the blueberry bushes. And it was wonderful seeing the effect that Launch Canada has had on the local Timmins and Matagami communities. And as someone who's launched my own model rockets as a child, I enjoyed seeing all of the excitement of rocketry get passed along to the next generation. You guys are doing great work. So once again, thank you from MDA Space for putting on such a wonderful event. I hope to see all of you continuing to participate in the Canadian aerospace in the future. Who knows, maybe we'll be colleagues someday. MDA is posting open job positions all the time. We welcome your applications. Thank you and have a wonderful night.
Okay, so that was a message from our sponsors. Please enjoy the rest of the dinner. We have 6 more minutes on the dot before we start the next part of the event. So please enjoy yourselves and have a drink. Welcome back, everyone. So the stomachs are full, the brains are full of memories. I like the little stories. Yarko here mentioned having been in Adam's basement or living room, and have Lounge Canada kind of started that way. I think a lot of us here have experience in Adam's basement, sleeping there for the liquid oxygen cleaning, or I crashed there for a moonshot event. A lot of things orbit around this man. My personal first time, actually, that's how I got introduced to Launch Canada. was at a conference. I think Mavessa here was organizing that event. The MS, it was the Montreal Space Symposium F something, MSSF. And it was at ICAO in Montreal, International Civil Aviation Organization. And Adam was speaking there. And one of my frustration is going to that conference, and we kept talking about the US, and Adam was giving us a path towards Canadian rocketry, and I found that really inspiring. So I just want to say, like, to all the teams that are doing outreach events, that are organizing small conferences, that are making those events, like, it actually makes a difference. Because if I'm here today, it's because of one of those events where Adam was an invited guest. So thank you to all. I think for outreach, hand of applause. And you know, we've grown in many ways. We've grown in the number of rockets, we've grown in the number of volunteers, and we were a very small group at the start. In 2022, we were in Cochrane back then, and we had this blue tent. You get everything you could logistics. This blue tent that would crumble under the weight of the rain. So we started every day by lifting the middle pole and getting showered by the water. We were like teams. It wasn't even bushwhacked. Like the teams had to like flatten the grass at their feet. It was. So we've grown as a family, but it all started with one person, and that person bears his name very well biblically. So I would like to invite to the stand Adam.
Oh, geez. Well, I'll have to see if I can live up to that introduction in my grossly sleep-deprived state. I actually just want to start to round out General Horner's opening remarks that we were able to finally play with a little bit of creative improvisation for you. So the General was originally hoping to be able to do a larger keynote for tonight. And we'd been talking. He'd been actively following the live stream and following the event over the course of the last week. So he was really impressed by everything that was going on. So this morning, I get a text from him saying that, Adam, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be able to give you a video for today. My schedule went completely crazy. I've had 3 hours of sleep, probably relatable to some of us here. And I just am not going to have the time to do it. So that was unfortunate to hear, but understandable as well. Well, then a couple hours later, I suddenly get this video message sent from the General, which you heard, and might have noticed that he was very clearly, in a hotel room in parts unknown. And he just felt so strongly about how important the work that you're all doing is that he really wanted to try to make sure we still got that video greeting in spite of everything. So just be aware that there are a lot of people who absolutely see all the things that we're doing here and are just that level of impressed. So good job, everybody. So I want to start by just asking for a show of hands here. Who is at Launch Canada for the very first time this year?
Whoa.
Wow. Damn. That is awesome. So what does everyone think so far? Yeah. I am so glad that was your reaction. So Launch Canada 2025 is now almost done. And I think that once again, this year really has been the best Launch Canada ever. This is just the second time that we've held a full awards dinner at the end of the week. And I'm really happy that this has become a recurring fixture of the event, because after a long and pretty intense week for all of us, it is a chance to relax and unwind with friends. And just like Cyril did, I really have to thank Discovery Porcupine, represented tonight by Sean Banks, for once again sponsoring tonight's dinner for all of us. So big thanks, Discovery Porcupine, for your support for this final send-off. And of course, I also want to say a very special thanks to our incredibly generous hosts, the City of Timmins and the Matagami First Nation. We are so privileged to have Mayor Boileau, Chief Constant, and Councillor Black join us tonight. And I know we've said it before, but allow me to thank you again one more time for you and your community's incredible ongoing support on behalf of all of us here at Launch Canada. So somehow the last week ends up feeling really long, but also incredibly short at the same time. But we definitely packed a lot into it. We again kicked things off with our biggest outreach program yet, with Matagami as well as Science Timmins and Northern College this year. So huge shout out to Cyril and the outreach volunteers. You went so far above and beyond this year, and the response from all of the kids who took part is a real testament to the incredible events that you all put together. Well done. Our conference last weekend was our biggest and most successful ever, with a pretty inspiring opening ceremony where we were all energized by Chief Jen, Councillor Black, Minister Peary, and General Horner, and of course a 40-foot Canadian flag. We had some amazing speakers from Canada and abroad. Thanks to Adam Lackman, we learned how ammonium perchlorate tastes, but come on, don't eat it. Despite some initially concerning weather forecasts, we were actually able to fly every day this week. That's the first time that's ever happened. And as you've heard multiple times, we flew an incredible 100 rockets on the dot, with final thanks going to Bob the Rocket. May he rest in pieces. In fact, we managed to fly a whopping 42 rockets on Thursday alone, which was also a new one-day record for us. That one day saw more rocket launches than we had in 2022 and 2023 combined. Woo! It's still crazy to think that literally in 2022, we had 9 launches all week. So we've come a long way in a short time. Among this year's launches, we had the highest altitude flights in Launch Canada's history, with Polytechnique reaching a pretty impressive 66,000 feet with their massive 2-stage rocket. And close behind, we had an awesome single-stage flight from ETS. We saw UBC Okanagan successfully fly a pretty impressive clustered hybrid. And I think a lot of range safety personnel were breathing a large sigh of relief after that one. And Waterloo followed up last year's flight of the first amateur liquid rocket in Canadian history with a seriously impressive, even larger one. We had our first team from the Maritimes. Shout out to Dalhousie. time a genuine coast-to-coast event. Amazing. And we also had our first ever nominal flight by a high school team. So big shout out to Turner Fenton. As usual, we had multiple static firings, including Sherbrooke with their first test of a regeneratively cooled liquid engine. More of you got CAR and Triple E certifications than at any of our events before. And Carleton rounded out the competition launches with a beautiful flight and a successful reefed recovery system. So good job. There's Carleton. Of course, the center of this event is all of you, the student teams. Launch Canada is here so that you have opportunities to take on and demonstrate the most advanced aerospace projects right here in Canada. And this year, the Weather once again cooperated with us to make sure you had the maximum number of opportunities to fly. At a time when forest fires have been a major problem in so many parts of this country, we were fortunate to be largely unaffected. And the always awesome Matagami Fire Department and Timmins Porcupine Search and Rescue teams helped us to stay safe just in case. Now, as usual, this has been a pretty intense week. We had nominal flights, less nominal ones, and yeah, some that didn't quite make it off the ground this time. As we all know, rocketry is hard. It is famously unforgiving. You can do 99 things perfectly, but it will be the one thing that you didn't that can bite you. There are usually no part marks where it comes to rockets, and that's a hard lesson that everybody who works with them will learn sooner or later. And it never stops being true. Past success is never a guarantee of future success. The same kind of rigor needs to be applied each and every time. You can't let yourself get overconfident because you can't be fooled. And sometimes the hardest part of building a rocket is not the rocket itself, but the people, the organization, the human element. But, and this is really important, not having the outcome you wanted is not failure. It's only a failure if you don't learn from it. Rockets don't always work the way we want them to, and that happens to the pros as well. You've all taken some really hard challenges, and regardless of how things went, you should all be incredibly proud of yourselves for doing really, really impressive and really difficult things. We at Launch Canada exist to create the opportunities, but then it's up to all of you. Like I said on Saturday last week, this week is where things get real. And the real world is sometimes messy. It can be chaotic, and there will be many things that you cannot control. That's reality. That's where we move from rocket science, that theoretically perfect construct, to rocket engineering. And that's what you all experienced this week. And there's no single recipe for how to guarantee success and no way to eliminate the things beyond your control. But if you want to be successful, always try to focus on the things that you can control. You can't control the roads, but you can control how you drive on them and which ones you choose to take. That wasn't a dig at any one in particular, just to be clear. You can't control the weather, but you can make sure you're prepared and ready to go at the first good opportunity because you don't know when it's going to come again. You can't guarantee perfect conditions, but you can design your systems so that they don't need perfect conditions. Control the things that you can control. Our favorite astronaut, Chris Hadfield, Yarko, present company accepted, of course, was once asked how he handles the stress or even the fear that comes from flying on a rocket, knowing just how many opportunities there are for things to go pretty badly wrong. His answer was very much the same. You train, you practice for every possible scenario until it's second nature. You control what you can control, and you know that your teammates have done the same. And I think this is more than a lesson about rocketry, because as a country, we are facing a lot of big challenges. Some of these are due to circumstances we didn't anticipate, circumstances outside our control. But there are always things we can do, things we can control. And Canada needs people who are willing to take on the hard challenges without fear of failure and take care to control what you can and embrace the lessons that come from trying to do difficult things. That's what ultimately leads to success. And I hope that this week has given you all a taste of that wherever you find yourselves on that longer journey. So I have to once again say a tremendous thanks to all of our sponsors, because without them, we would not be able to do here this week. And I want to especially thank MDA Space, our Reach for the Stars sponsor, and all of the awesome MDA volunteers who were with us all last week. Next, we have our escape velocity sponsors, starting with Pratt & Whitney Canada, Mark Paffey, and Soft & Way. Our second stage sponsors, MacFab, Daishan, EOS, Telegistics, and of course, Discovery Porcupine, sponsoring tonight's dinner. Our first stage sponsors, Nord Space, Randing Research, Murata, NI, AGF Machining, Delcom Aerospace, and Fusia. And our ground control sponsors, Protospace, Reflect Orbital, Reaction Dynamics, City of Brampton, Agnico Eagle, VT SCADA, SimScale, OnShape, Space Structures, MaxAmps, Coolite, TrueGear, Blaxis, REM Surface Engineering, Massfin Aerospace, and Quintus Technologies. Also a big shout out to our media partner, SpaceQ Media. And our prize sponsors, Ceremonies Technology and the Canadian Space Society. Also, we're super grateful for some of the local companies who really stepped up to help us run this event, and companies that provided really critical in-kind support. So we all were really grateful to Northern College for not just giving us the use of their residences, but also providing us with workspaces to build rockets. So big thanks to Northern College. We had ICOM very kindly sponsoring us with a ton of radio gear that helped to make sure we were able to build the communications networks that we needed this year on site. JOCANS once again provided us with our shipping container mission control centers, this year in both the solid and advanced areas. And a big thank you to Astos Solutions for trajectory simulation software. But the real backbone of this entire event really is our team of volunteers. And after several years of doing this, I'm pretty struck by what an awesome team this really is. we all have our quirks, goodness knows, yet somehow it just kind of works. And so whether you've been a volunteer with us since day one or just joined us for the first time this year, each and every one of you stepped up like never before. You all really helped to keep me sane throughout all of this, and it was you who made this record year happen. So to everyone who was involved, you have my deepest thanks and my undying admiration. Thank you for everything that you do to make this possible. So I need to acknowledge a few specific people who once again played larger than life roles in making our 2025 happen. And I'll start with our able master of ceremonies and outreach director, Cyril Manny.
Zero.
Launch Canada's vice president and test area manager who kindly donated not just an oil pan, but also a transmission pan to this year's event, Zach Harrison. Our conference director for this year, who really did all the heavy lifting to make last weekend happen, Ariana Kresniak. And then taking on all the many things that go on behind the scenes that not everybody always notices, but are really the backbone of the entire event, our logistics team, Madalena Patron and Alex Keats. We have, of course, an amazing launch operations team who make our rocket launches happen. And it was really all down to you that we were able to get through the number of launches that we did this week. So huge thanks to our range safety officers, Shane Wetherill and Peter Tarley.
Brutal.
And I've got to, give a particular thanks to Peter for constantly driving all the way from Tennessee up here multiple times a year to not just put on the event, but do all the to it. And bulldozing 5 acres of forest doesn't just happen. There's a lot that goes into it. And there will probably be more of this going forward. So Peter, thank you so much for all that you do.
Yeah, kid.
So helping to coordinate all of our launch operations, we have our launch ops lead and solid pads lead, Dave Lefrancois. And once again, Chris Hobbs, our launch control officer. I also have to say a really big thanks to Alain Olson for making sure all of our extreme altitude flights are safe and stay within our airspace and keep Transport Canada happy. So thank you, Alain. Ironically, perhaps for a rocket launch event, probably the most technically complex part of it is not so much the rocket launches, but the site communications. Building a radio and data network across this rather challenging terrain is challenging to say the least. But huge thanks go to Winta Ghebreyesus, who really stepped it up this year and did a phenomenal job.
Winta, 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 Winta.
Usually the recovery portion is one of the more perilous aspects of this competition because, as you've all seen, the terrain is a little bit challenging. So big thanks go to Zachary Tepper, our recovery lead, for making sure that you all stayed safe. After blazing the use of UAVs at our event last year, we had, again, our flight ops lead, Alec Pak, returning with a veritable air force of UAVs to do everything from help with a live stream to finding rockets. And of course, a massive shout out to the live stream team led so well by Brendan Griffin and Simon Gala. You guys are absolute legends, and you really outdid yourselves this year, even when things didn't always go perfectly. Also helping us to get our message out there and share the story of all the awesome things we're doing to the wider community and to media around the country. Got to give a big thank you to our communications team, Jordan Burley, Robin Metcalf, Steve Perpich, and Richie Days. Well done, guys. And last but not least, it wouldn't be a rocket competition without the tireless work on an ongoing basis for months leading up to this by our judging team led by Robert Bernard and Mitchell Passarelli. So huge thanks to all of our volunteers. This event really has your signatures all over it. So thank you. You are all amazing people, and you make everything that we do possible. And while tonight we are wrapping up Launch Canada 2025, we are, of course, already looking ahead towards 2026, which is going to be our 5th competition. So it feels like a pretty special milestone, and we're looking forward to having you all join us as part of it as we continue to build this Canadian rocketry movement. And finally, to all the rocket teams that came from, in many cases, such a long distance to be here, you are really all the reason for what we do. And I want you all to know that we're here to continue supporting you and growing a community that embraces the most advanced projects and creates more pathways into this industry for more Canadians. So I hope you all know that there are a lot of us who believe in you and what you're capable of. To those graduating students, if student rocketry has made a difference for you, if you've gotten something out of your time competing in Launch Canada, I hope you'll consider joining us in the future to share what you've learned and help start the next chapter of our Canadian rocketry movement. So once again, huge thank you to our host, the City of Timmins and the Matagami First Nation, and thank you all for making this the best Launch Canada ever. So now we get to the real focal point of tonight's event, the final awards. And to start, I would like to call up our judges, Noah and Niall. Over to you.
going to be difficult to follow such well-spoken and impressive speeches. Let's give it a try. So, good evening, everyone. It's great to see all of the familiar faces out there, albeit much less sandy and sunburned. And it's been a pleasure, whether we were catching up or making first introductions. I stand here with Noah in front of you after a day of deliberations from the judging team and our final time donning this hat for the year. There are many difficult decisions to be made when it comes to evaluating and assigning a number to the passion, the blood, the sweat, and as many of you are all too familiar with, the tears. But before we get to that, we would be honored to first present to you some fun awards to recognize those moments through the week that made an impression on us and felt worthy of mentioning and having a good chuckle about. When we present these funny awards, we'd like to ask that one member from the given team represents you and comes up to accept the award. And when you do, just come stand here in front of the screen. When Mitchell and Robert come up, your whole team can come up, of course, and likewise stand here. So, without further ado, let's get to business. First, we have the Boy Scout Award, a compass given to the team who brave the outdoors and the elements, sleeping in the cold and trekking through the woods. We present this award to Windsor.
The next award is called the Castaway Award. So this team was hard to find, but they managed to make a perfectly nominal flight despite setting up their camp approximately 3,000 nautical miles away from the main prep area. So this award is presented to Dalhousie.
The Super Chill Award, an ice pack and ice cube tray, go to the team that was quite literally super chill the entire week, even when dealing with countless issues. Their engine was also literally super chill. Having cold flow for a full 60 seconds, this award goes to Queen's University.
The next award is the Golden Shovel Award. This team dug holes like no other, so this tool will hopefully aid them in their future digging endeavors. We present the Golden Shovel to Waterloo Rocketry. Okay, the next award is entitled the Hearing Damage Award. So this team created a motor with a noise that could burst the eardrums of anyone within the 10 nautical mile aerospace radius. So they could clearly use these earmuffs. This one goes to Carlton.
Okay, you'll have to bear with us for the next one. The Zach Harrison Volkswagen Memorial Award for Perseverance. This year, the road has been hungrier than ever. A substantial number of vehicles were claimed, but this award goes to the team that, more than just facing car troubles, had to fend off an angry swarm of wasps and bravely decided that they were not in fact done looking for their rocket and decided they would go back out there for more. That team is the University of Victoria.
We'd now like to invite Brendan and Simon from the live stream volunteer team to present the Live Stream Choice Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would first like to apologize for the audio issues that we encountered earlier. Now, what is he doing up here talking about this before the award? And it's because we want to make a fool of ourselves. The audio. Instead of into the speakers of the convention hall.
Okay, but on to the actual award. The Live Stream Choice Award goes to a team that successfully launched, successfully recovered, and came on to the live stream, had immaculate vibes, pushed all of our buttons. All that we ask is next year, maybe don't spend. Hang on. $2,674 of live stream equipment as your rocket stand when you store it overnight. This award goes to the University of Memphis.
Wait, on a second. Gentlemen, you may press the button.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much.
And now, the moment you have all been waiting for. I'd like to introduce the In the blue corner, hailing from Truro, Nova Scotia, Robert Barnard!
Also from the blue corner, hailing from Toronto, Ontario, Mitchell Besser!
Didn't expect that at all. Okay, better get serious here. Okay, now serious. For the basic launch challenge, all the teams who have placed in the top 3 will receive some of these lovely trophies on the table to the right of me from Launch Canada. I'll now announce these top 3 teams. So for this team, they had huge improvement over last year, and they had a lot of change in professionalism. They had enough electronics that actually would rival that, possibly on the International Space Station, and even with teams that competed in the advanced category. With that being said, 3rd place goes to McMaster University.
Please scooch in. Thank you.
Now for the 2nd place team, this was a team that had become a fairly fine-tuned machine when it comes to launching rockets. Now, I do want to mention that the variance actually between this 2nd place team and the 3rd was actually extremely tight. However, with tact and focus, the team that overcame many challenges and achieved 2nd place is Queen's University.
Please scooch in. You may sit.
Now for first place. Optimized for altitude, minimize weight or minimum weight and maximum performance, this team's rocket almost hit Mach 3 and was incredibly sleek. It even managed to go well above 66,000 feet, as has been said multiple times this evening. This team has achieved first place in the basic category of Launch Canada Challenge and will receive a Ceremonies reload as well as a tour of their facilities. The first place team this year for basic is ATS.
And now onto the advanced category of the Launch Challenge. Also, just for reference, when Robert was saying extremely narrow points, it was a 1 point difference between McMaster and Queen. So, like, holy smokes. You guys couldn't have made this competition tighter, and it's going to show over all of the different categories. But the third place for the advanced category this year goes to a team that has dealt with many trials and tribulations. I've seen their blood, sweat, and tears firsthand, and I know that they did the same thing this year and nearly broke my judges' hearts with their performance this year. So without further ado, third place in the advanced category goes to McGill University. This year, the advanced category was a little bit of a rough ride. There were lots of teams entered. Some of the teams, including my alma mater, didn't make it to the competition due to technical difficulties. But we had one of the teams show up this year with arguably the most technical and challenging of all of the projects that were in the advanced category. And for the second year in a row, managed to launch a liquid rocket at Launch Canada, making them, I think, the only amateur Canadian team to launch a liquid rocket from Canadian soil for the second time. So in second place, we have University of Waterloo.
Please scooch in.
And now for the first place prize in the advanced category, we have a team whose achievement is hard to understate. They took on the additional challenges in the advanced category of doing a 2-stage rocket and putting in the biggest honkin' motors they can possibly find in those stages, trying to go absolutely as high as they possibly could. This team wrote another monolithic report. I think there's something in the water in Quebec because all of you guys seem to be obsessed with writing War and Peace multiple times over. The number of texts I received from Peter saying, please change the report length requirements because I'm sick and tired of reading the encyclopedia end to end multiple times. Yeah, I don't. You guys have a problem. And this team is absolutely no different. Clocking in at, again, another 66,000 foot launch. We have in first place in the advanced category, Polytechnique Montreal. This year we did something a little different with the tech dev category. Last year it was just kind of floating around as a category within the Launch Canada Challenge. This year we decided to break it out into its own challenge. And with that, revamped a little bit of the scoring. One of the things we heard in previous years was that it felt a little bit more geared towards static engine tests. Didn't really encourage other kinds of projects. So we tried to change the focus a little bit. And this year it's reflected in the variety of projects that entered in the Tech Dev Challenge and those that placed on the podium. In third place, we have a team that decided originally to do something like a beamforming project, if I remember their PDR correctly, but in the end decided to do something that was a veritable array of data collection sensors, a suite that could collect enough data to probably fill up an SD card multiple times over. I have no idea what you were storing this thing on or all of that data on. But in third place for the Tech Dev Challenge, we have U Ottawa.
Oh, I love it.
In second place is a team that has impressed me immensely this year. Methodical, thoughtful, careful, all words that describe this team. A team that has, I've seen, it's like anti-go fever. I don't understand it. If I was in their shoes, I would probably have been pulling my hair out. It's a team that I don't think there is a force on earth that could cause them to buckle. They decided to enter into the tech dev category with a hybrid engine test and impressed not only myself, but also my fellow judges. And I think the static test stand managers, Zach and Mark. In second place in the tech dev category, we have Queen's University. And last of all, in the tech dev category, we have a team who, again, I don't know what they put in the water in Quebec. Somehow defied all expectations, taking on a project that was radically different than things we have seen before. Well, we've maybe seen this before, but not to the level of professionalism that this team managed to do it with. So well that they actually hooked it up into the live stream system. In first place in the tech dev category, we have ETS.
Hey, shout out. Nice.
I told you it would be something different in first place this year. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I'm now going to announce the winner of the payload challenge, just first place. First, I want to say that each year Launch Canada awards the payload challenge to the first place team, and they received a monetary award of $2,500 from the Canadian Space Society, one of our sponsors. For the team that won this award, they designed a semi-deployable payload that was equipped with 3 radially mounted cameras that delivered a full 360-degree view. The payload captures stunning wide-angle footage of the rocket while staying attached to the parachute harness. Mr. Scored, I don't need to look at you right now. Footage of the rocket while staying attached to the parachute harness after drogue deployment. The team overcame manufacturing challenges to create a robust payload, showcase incredible views from journey of launch the rocket and recovery. With that being said, the winner of the payload challenge for this year is McMaster University.
Before we hand out the grand prizes, we want to bring back Adam Trumpur up on stage to hand out, I guess, the namesake award, or the award named in his sake, the Adam Trumpur Volunteer Award. Come on up, Mr. President.
All right. Thank you, Mitchell and Rob. For the next award, this one kind of has a special place in my heart, and not just because it has my name on it. The original Adam Trumpur Award was a surprise that was presented to me at the first Launch Canada in 2022. And since then, it's become a recurring award that we give out to recognize a particular volunteer within the organization who has really stood out and done exemplary work for Launch Canada. This is an award that's actually voted on by all of the volunteers. So we have a whole process where we take nominations and then everybody gets to vote. So it is an award chosen by the pool of volunteers within the organization. And I think that we have such phenomenal volunteers at Launch Canada that it is always a really difficult award to give out, because honestly, there are so many people who do so much that all are deserving of recognition. But this year, the award goes to somebody who has been with us for a very long time at Launch Canada and has continued to toil away, often behind the scenes, in many capacities, but helping all the way along behind the scenes to make sure that our events run smoothly. So the Launch Canada Adam Trumpur Award for 2025 goes to our logistics and volunteer lead, Madalena Patron. don't have to give a speech, but you're welcome to say something if you want. Okay.
I'm so shy. So sorry, everyone.
That's okay. No pressure. So, Maddie, you've been involved with Launch Canada for such a long time. We figured that, of course, it is high time we got you some certifications under your belt. So, we will have a nice, shiny, high power certification rocket kit for you. Good job. All right, back to the judges.
Okay, first of the grand prizes is our annual Spirit Bear Award. This award goes to the team that exemplifies the community spirit, sportsmanship, all the qualities that we want and we believe in here at Launch Canada. This is the team that is most deserving, the team that exemplifies helping other people, the friendliness and good-natured and politeness for our American friends that Canadians are well known for. This award is always the hardest one to decide on because all of you are so absolutely exemplary of the qualities that we value here in Launch Canada. Trying to pick just one team to win this award is like, it's awful. So without further ado, I would like to announce the winner of the Spirit Bear this year is the University of Saskatchewan. Before moving on, I would like to make a couple of honorable mentions here. First one I would like to is UBCO. You were runner-up for this one. You did fantastic work at this competition, and I've only heard good things about how friendly and just excited you were to be here at Launch Canada participating in the event. And what a fantastic clustered launch. I'm a hybrid guy at heart, so it makes me feel good when I see a rocket like that do so well. The other second honorable mention is actually a shout out to multiple teams this year who assisted with not only the live or the outreach rockets, but also with the running the refurbishment after safety inspections for certification launches. So I would like to thank all of you for your involvement this year. This year was the worst for trying to hand out that award. So with that, I would like to hand it over to Robert. Hand it over to Robert because I have the list. It's right here. To announce the winner of the grand prize trophy. We'd also like to invite our sponsor for the evening from Discovery Porcupine up on stage to hand out the grand prize trophy for the launch category.
So for this year, the winner of the Grand Launch Trophy is Poly Montreal.
that one was a little bit easier to hand over this year. Mostly because of the last trophy we have to give out this evening, grand prize for the tech dev category, or the new tech dev challenge, I should say. So this team is going out to the team most deserving of this prize this year. One that not only, just like with the launch grand prize, not only gets the highest score in the tech dev category, but also exemplifies the values here that we value at Launch Canada. So the Tech Dev Grand Trophy for innovation in the technology development category goes to ETS. I know. I want to get it working. And that concludes all of our awards for this evening, and I'll turn it back over to our MC, Ceremonies.
The table is empty. It's weird. Wow. So, every year I go to Launch Canada, and there's like months of preparation, and you get to Launch Canada tired. I'm sorry, Adam, but every year I get to Launch Canada and I tell myself, this is my last year. And I can't wait to come back next year. This is awesome. So, awards are clearly given, friends are thanked, and the necessary people are roasted. We've said a lot of things tonight. Some of you have received awards, and some of us volunteers also did. Congratulations, Madalena, again. But if there is, yes, absolutely. But if there is one thing I want you to remember is the following 5 things. 5. I'm going to raise my hand. So first, in the grand scheme of life, winning an award here is nice. It is. But it's not everything. And the moments that have marked me the most in my life have not been the successes or the failures, but just showing up. And that's what you all have done. It sounds cliche as it sounds, but you're all winning by showing up and being here for you today. And I want to say, some of my best friends I met in the Rocket team, 2 of my groomsmen at my wedding next year are from the Rocket team. And so I don't remember the trophies. Thank you. At the end of the day, I don't remember the trophies. I don't remember yes, I remember the rain in the desert. That I will never forget. And the tornado too. But what I'll remember is the moments we've shared, the struggles we've bonded over, and Peter's Hawaiian t-shirt. So thank you again, and congratulations for showing up for yourselves. And echoing those thoughts, I actually got a special request as we started this closing ceremony, and I thought it would fit perfectly here. And on that note, I would like to invite Max Jacolo from the McGill Rocket team to the stage. Third place winner of the advanced category, captain of the team.
This is a little high. I'm not that tall. Okay, so if you're wondering who is the slightly overdressed random that just stumbled on the stage, as Cyril said, I am actually a co-captain of the McGill Rocket team. The other one could not join us tonight. And this is my last day on the job, so I wanted to talk a little bit tonight. In all honesty, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's pretty well known fact within my team that much too French to be able to align two words in English without having a stroke. I'm senile, so I'm gonna have to read my notes. To express some of my thoughts after this hell of a week. Set thoughts being that, dang, 2 years in a row without launching really sticks. 2 years of hundreds of people spending thousands of hours on a design that doesn't end up flying is really, really tough. Quite the amount of tears were shed, and this was for a lot of people at the back of the room out there, most likely amongst the most difficult moments of their life. And even though I was definitely and even though I was definitely not expecting the recognition we ended up getting, and I'm extremely grateful for it, I still want to highlight the fact that MRT was not the only team that here encountered issues. No launch, an off-nominal ascension, a rocket that went ballistic, and this unsuccessful recovery, an engine that shot itself, a payload that didn't payload hard enough, or generally a subsystem that didn't work as intended, are basically things that encapsulate every single team here. And what I want to say about this is simply that it is unfortunately how things are. As MRT, I am certain that every single person here gave it their all and pushed past the limits that they didn't even know existed to get things to work. Whether it was a dumb mistake made last minute or a wrong turn taken during an intricate design process, those are just different ways bad luck hits you. And every single rocket that attended this competition deserved to have a normal flight. And if you didn't, please do not blame yourself for it. Instead, remember everything else that those long hours of hard work brought you: the knowledge, the experience, the connections, the friendship, the maturity, and so much more. This kind of team always obey the same principle. The more you put in, the more you get out of it. So there's no unfair trade. A little fun fact is that most of the people in my team don't actually know why I became captain. As it's my last day on the job, I feel like maybe sharing a little bit. Yes, I wanted the experience. Yes, I wanted to develop my skill sets. Yes, I wanted that little line on my CV. But one of the main reasons is the simple fact that I was trying to fight against a little issue I started to encounter as I got older. I am terrified of crowds and generally struggle a lot with people. I mostly just threw myself into the job to try and fix that. And even though for most of the year I hid behind the excuse of being a big night owl to directly interact with as little people as possible, I was fulfilling my responsibilities. It still worked. This team and my experience in it helped me get through most of these issues, and without its help, I would never be standing in front of such a crowd today. So yes, this team took so much from me: time, sleep, blood, sweat, and tears. But I got so much more out of it. And even though you might not realize it, I can tell all of you with complete certainty that you did too. Why? Simply because you wouldn't be sitting in this room right now if you weren't getting anything out of this whole affair. So please, for the sake of all the folks that might not be there next year, use this knowledge and the resilience it gives you to get those goddamn normal flights next year. I know we've all been through the same year, so I know for a fact that I can trust every single one of you to pull it off. Godspeed to all of us.
Jesus. Wow. How am I supposed to thank our sponsors after that? That was Max. I had no idea what was going to come. I had an idea, but this was, wow. And so, how can I segue this? Creating and supporting those beautiful moments. I would like to thank the teams, right? The teams to create those moments, to create that energy, that authenticity that we just saw, and for your courage, right? You came, you faced fears, whether there are bears or crowds. Like you faced your fears and you've achieved it, and you've done it. You've proved it to us, to yourselves, and to that flag. So thank you so much. And allowing us to do that, I said 5 things. We're down 1, so this is my second thing. I have to thank our sponsors. That's mandatory. And so I'd like to thank our main sponsor, MDA Space, for supporting this event and for sending their volunteers all the way to Timmins. So thank you so much. I would like to thank our Escape Velocity sponsors, Bright & Whitney, Maverick, and Softenway. Our second stage sponsors, Dial, EOS, Telegistics, and our first stage sponsors, Nord Space Group, Astos, Delcom, Marota, AGF. And I would also like to thank all of our ground control sponsors for their support. Thank you. Third thing, I know your hands hurt, so we're almost done. So I'm gonna hurt some legs one more time, and I'm gonna ask for all the Launch Canada volunteers to please get up and please stand up. You've stood a lot on your feet this week, and this is the last time. I know you're stretching. It's okay, Zach. Yeah, you can drive. Oh, maybe not. But you know, these people have spent thousands of work hours to make today possible. These are international experts at what they do, and yet they do it for Launch Canada as volunteers. And their only payment is gratitude. So let them a long, warm round of gratitude, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Two more things. So fourth thing, we've done a lot of dangerous things this week. We avoided bears, we launched literal rockets and machined metal plates in the woods with PPE. So please, I beg you, do not make your drive home from here the most dangerous part of your journey. Drive safe, drive slow, and get home. Last thing, this is the end of Launch Canada 2025, but not the end of the night. We have the place and a cash bar until 1 a.m. So everyone, thank you for coming to Launch Canada 2025. I expect you to see you in 2026, and let's have a good time. Thank you.